Alright, I'm redoing the video. I made like a 20-minute long video, and I'm redoing it because I made it to somewhere around 16 or 17 minutes, and I was like, wow, this is a really short video. And I started trying to think of, to make sure that I talked about everything and that happened today, and I just ended up going on for like another 6 or 7 minutes going, yeah, I'm not really sure what else to talk about. I was like, my God, I got to redo the whole thing now because I don't edit. It's one shot or nothing. So let's go through it real quick. Um, we we did this morning. What did we do? We had Russ as an instructor, just Russ because now he's fully certified. Keith was back today from being sick, so we had everybody. And we also had one of the people from the senior class that has not tested out yet. Everybody that tested out yesterday and got their CDLs, they went 4 for 4. All 4 people that tested yesterday passed. The one person that didn't test yesterday was put into our class, and he's testing on Tuesday. The senior class left early. I don't know what time they went home. They went home probably like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But we did the trailer inspection today, which is Section C in CDL University's pre-trip. Section C is the one that I am not very familiar with. It's the one I'm probably the weakest on. I haven't completed that section on my my pre-trip papers that I've typed up with all the verbiage that I've compiled from all the resources. So it's Section C is my weakest, and I was astonished at how good I was at it. I was so good at it that everyone was making a big deal out of me missing the leaf spring mounts because I described the leaf springs and how I would inspect them, and then I said I would make sure that they're properly mounted, secured to the front, middle, and rear mounts with bolts, U-bolts, and nuts, none loose or missing, no breaks or cracks. And then I started to go over to the brakes. Actually, no, I started to go to the to check. This particular trailer did not have a shock absorber or airbag. So that's what I was going around to the tire to look to see if it had a shock absorber or airbag, to inspect that next, and that would be the last part of the suspension before I went to the braking system. And one of the other students and the instructor were like, "Oh, no, you didn't do the mounts." And I was like, "What do you mean I didn't do the mounts? I did do the mounts." And they said, "No, you didn't say leaf spring mounts." And I said, "What in the hell do you think? What mounts do you think I was talking about?" I said the leaf spring, and I said the exact same thing that I just said, which was basically this. The leaf springs are not broken or cracked. None are missing. None are shifted or scissoring. And they are properly mounted, secured with the front, rear, and middle mount. Nuts and bolts. U-bolts and nuts. None broken or cracked or missing. So any sane person would say that I covered the mounts for the leaf springs, but I didn't use the term leaf spring mounts. And so I was so good at the inspection that they made a big deal out of that and said that I didn't get that part of it. And I was like, all right. And I just went on. Like, I'm pretty sure that was good enough for the exam. I don't think I have to call them the leaf spring mounts. I think calling them the mounts I think that's sufficient when I'm talking about the leaf springs and I'm actually pointing at the mounts. But I was so good at the inspection that that's all that they could find wrong in what I did, which is pretty amazing. considering that is the inspection that I think I'm the weakest on. It's the one I've studied the least. I think I've only like gone through it once trying to memorize it. But I think most of the people are not morning people. The day typically it starts off with everybody being a little grouchy, and people get on each other's nerves in the morning, and then after lunchtime everybody's in a fairly decent mood. The mood just slowly gets better throughout the day, and then by the end of the day when we're going home, everybody's typically in a pretty good mood, getting along really well. So I think most of the people in the class are not morning people. I take a bunch of caffeine pills and stuff in the morning, so I'm like pretty much the same kind of person all day long. I don't have this slow wake up period or anything like that. But everybody was in a pretty good mood by the end of the day, except one person. We have 2 people in our class that do not have previous driving experience with a tractor trailer. And one of those people, well, both of them were having issues with the alley dock, and both of them were having issues with shifting. Well, today, one of them had well, it wasn't just today, it was also yesterday. There were massive improvements with shifting with one of those people. So, the other person is still progressing and still doing better and better and better, but there was a massive improvement with that other person, Adam. Adam yesterday started shifting a lot better, and Adam has been trying really hard, asking questions. Adam's the one that I explained the S maneuver to, the C maneuver to. I explained to him how a clutch works, how it's 2-stage, and pushing it all the way to the floor engages the clutch brake. You don't want to push it all the way to the floor unless you're like at a complete stop. It's pushing it all the way to the floor is only for putting it into a gear at a stop. And I explained double clutching to him and how it works and stuff like that. So Adam is very he's the type of person that's always asking for input and trying to improve. And something clicked with him, and yesterday he started shifting really well. Today he was doing amazing on his shifting and his driving and everything. Like, he had some kind of massive improvement today, where he was driving and backing. Well, he was driving almost to the level of Keith and I, and he was backing almost to the level of Keith and I. If Keith and I are at 100, he was at probably 80 on driving and backing. So he had this massive, massive improvement. The other person that just a couple of days ago was pretty much on par with Adam did not have that massive improvement. He's been progressing and getting better, but he didn't have that enormous leap where now, Adam is basically driving as well and backing as well as Keith and I. And the person who didn't have that massive improvement is now the only one in the class that's having any issues with anything. And he got really frustrated to the point where he got just flat out mad today. Like, he got really, really mad. Mad to the point where people were avoiding talking to him. He's got an entire week left. We tried to, explain that to him, that, your expectations for yourself are too damn high. You still have an entire week of training left. And you're doing well. You're not doing it great, but it's you're constantly making improvement. You're progressing. That's all that matters, and you still have an entire week. So, it sounds like we're probably going to have the option to test on Thursday, but if people don't feel comfortable testing on Thursday, and the school doesn't feel comfortable with them testing on Thursday, then they're not going to test on Thursday. So, kind of sucks that he got in such a bad mood, because he was doing really well. He made huge improvements today. Our instructor, Russ, what he's been doing on our alley docks up to this point is as soon as somebody screws up, he goes up there and walks them through finishing the maneuver. And I don't think that's very beneficial. I don't think that's a good way to teach. Yeah, I can understand doing that once or twice with somebody to kind of show them how it's done, but as a teaching method, that's not very good. You don't really learn a lot from that. It's kind of nice to see somebody do it, but when somebody's walking you through it, you're not doing it yourself. So today, Russ just let Adam and the other guy, once they screwed up, he just sat there and let them try and fix it for like 30 minutes. And Adam screwed up really bad the first time and took a long time to fix it. But the second time, he was able to get it in there. The third time, he was able to get it in there. Like, I think he only screwed up once, where he just he wouldn't have passed the test. But everything past that, I think he would have passed the test on it. The other guy was not close to being able to pass the test on anything all day long, but he was slowly making progress. So, he was making big improvements. And if he has the weekend to process, because the two of them did a ton of those alley docs today, because the other three people that were in class today, which was me, Keith, and then one of the seniors, because he's the only one that didn't, I'm not sure if I've already explained that, he was the only one that didn't test out. He's testing on Tuesday. He's going to be with us. He was with us today, and he's going to be with us on Monday, and then he's going to test on Tuesday. The three of us were confident enough with the alley doc that these other two really needed help on it, and so we forfeited our turn and let those two just go back and forth between them all day long on the alley doc. So they got tons of attempts on the alley doc. Well, maybe not tons of attempts, because they were Adam wasn't taking too terribly long to do his alley docs, but the other person was taking, like, I don't know, 30 minutes an alley doc or more, because he was having a lot of issue with it. But it is a good learning opportunity. I can't believe it's Friday. I didn't even realize it was Friday until toward the end of the day when everybody's like having a great weekend. And I still had to check the calendar a couple of times to verify it was Friday. This week went by so fast. I need to finish my pre-trip documents and study the pre-trip over the weekend. I think I already explained that I did the pre-trip this morning, and I was just nearly perfect on it. I think I was perfect, honestly. I don't think I was wrong on the damn leaf spring mounts. I don't think I have to, if I don't call them, if I just call them the mounts and I don't call them the leaf spring mounts, I don't think I'm going to fail because of that or get marked off because of that. So, sorry about that. Hope you don't have motion sickness. That's pretty much it. I'm home now. I thought about grabbing something to eat on the way home, but traffic was terrible for some reason. I don't know what. We left about 3:45, maybe, about 15 minutes early, and traffic was really bad. I don't know why traffic was so heavy today. And I just didn't feel like dealing with, driving around to get something to eat and then dealing with long lines at a drive-thru. I was just like, well, if I want to grab something to eat, I'll just go out later tonight at 8 or 9 p.m. or something and grab something to eat, or 6 or 7 p.m. Maybe once I finish this video, I'll go back out. I just didn't want to deal with how bad traffic was. I don't know why it was so bad that early today. It's not usually that bad. Maybe it's because it's Friday. Is there some holiday? I don't keep up with holidays. Is there some holiday coming up or something? I have no idea why traffic was so bad today. I thought it might have just been an accident because traffic was so heavy on I think it was I-35, the first interstate that I get onto. But once I got onto I-40, traffic was, really backed up there. And then when I got on Hefner Parkway or 44, Traffic was really backed up there, and then on Northwest Expressway it was really like heavy traffic. Like traffic was heavy everywhere. So it wasn't just like some accident on one interstate or anything like that. I don't know what the deal was. But maybe I'll venture out and grab something to eat. You know what? What most likely what is going to happen is my laziness is going to win, and I'm just going to Uber Eats like I always do. I always Uber Eats, and I'm in the mood for Panda Express. And what's really annoying is that Uber Eats is just continually jacked up the prices at Panda Express. The 2 entree meal, which is what I normally get, I get it with Beijing beef. Oh, well, my side or whatever is I get fried rice, Beijing beef, and teriyaki chicken, like every single time. And the 2 entree is, I think, $7.80 if you drive to the restaurant. Like the normal restaurant prices for the 2 entree is $7.80. Whenever Uber Eats first came out, it was $8.50, I believe, is what they were charging for it. Because for anybody who doesn't know, Uber Eats jacks up. I'm not sure if it's Uber Eats or the restaurants themselves that jack up the prices. Maybe the restaurants are the ones that jack up the prices, and maybe they do it because Uber Eats takes a cut. So they're trying to, increase, the prices to cover, because some of these restaurants might be really low margin, and if Uber Eats is taking a cut, then it might take them below, profitability. Maybe that's why they're jacking up their prices. I don't know. Whatever it is. So $7.80. Uber Eats was $8.20 initially whenever they started in this area. Then they jumped from $8.20. No, it wasn't $8.20. It was $8.50. So $7.80, $8.50. Then they went from $8.50 to $9.20. And within like a week to 2 weeks, after jumping it up all the way to $9.20, they went up to $9.45. That was a huge jump in a short amount of time. Let's check and see if they didn't do it again. Nope, still $9.45. It's like $2 extra. I don't know if everybody notices like the jacked up fees on there. But once you start tallying up all the extra you're paying for Uber Eats, it's not worth it anymore. Like I used to use Uber Eats all the time, and as the prices have been going up, I've been like reducing the amount that I use Uber Eats, because it was initially, oh my goodness, they just had I think it was 99 cents for delivery, and the prices were store prices, like normal store prices. And then I don't know in what like order it happened, but the delivery fees went up to basically a $2 minimum in my area, and they go up from there. And the store prices started going up, and then they added in a service fee of 15%. Then they added in a minimum order fee. So now it's to the point where if you order $10 worth of food, where you don't have to pay the minimum order fee of $2. If you order less than $10, of course, you pay $2 extra. But so if you order $10 worth of food, it's approximately a 30% markup on the price of the food. So $10 of food is actually $7 worth of food. So you're paying an extra $3 for the food. Then you're paying a 15% service fee. So that's $1.50. So that's $4.50 for $7 worth of food. Then a $2 delivery fee. So $6.50 for $7 worth of food. And I think that might be all of the extra that you're paying. $6.50 for someone to deliver $7 worth of food to you. That is crazy. Not worth it. It used to be tolerable for me whenever it was like $2. But and here's the other thing: the Uber drivers get really salty if you don't tip. I had an Uber taxi. Whenever I sold my motorcycle, I paid like $32 to have somebody drive me to my house from the dealership that I sold it to. And this guy was just sitting there running his mouth about Uber Eats and how the people don't tip and they're all a bunch of cheap people and they always order McDonald's. Well, the reason people order from McDonald's is because they have the smallest markup on their food. McDonald's markup is either nothing or a very small markup. Whereas Panda Express, let's see what their markup is. $9.45. I'm going to have to figure out how to math this. $9.45 from $7.80. 9.45 minus, where's my minus button at? Minus 7.8. $1.65. Now to get the percentage of markup, would I do $1.65 divided by 7.8? That's 21.15%. I think that's correct. So let's do 7.8 times 1.215. That would be a 21.5% markup, and we come up with 947, which is close enough. So yeah, Uber Eats is a 21% markup on their Panda Express. Uber Eats is a 21% markup on their food costs, and I started ordering McDonald's Uber Eats because the markup at McDonald's is either nothing or not. It's like the lowest markup of any place. Maybe Five Guys. I think Five Guys doesn't have any markup. I'm not sure, but their prices are already crazy. You're paying like, I don't know, $12 to $15 just for a burger and fries. But it is a bag of fry. It's like you order a small fry and they give you a potato sack. It's not that bad, but it's kind of funny. But anyway, I'm to the point of rambling. This is becoming a therapy moment, so I think I'll go ahead and end the video here. I'm starting to think of food and what I'm going to go plunder here in a minute. I might order some groceries, but I've only got like a week until I'm possibly going to orientation at a trucking company. So if I order groceries, I got to be careful not to order a bunch of them. Maybe I'll drive down to Brahms and just get some groceries from their little store in there. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. I'm probably going to get burnt out on studying the pre-trip and writing up the pre-trip and all that stuff and make a few videos over the weekend. Maybe I'll make a Super Bowl video after the Niners dominate whatever, who is it, the Chiefs or something like that? The Chiefs made it to the Super Bowl? Is this the first time the Chiefs have ever made it to a Super Bowl? Nobody ever wins the first time. I don't know if that's true. I'm just talking trash. Niners gonna win. It's kind of tough on that because I'm in Oklahoma City. There's a lot of Texas hate in Oklahoma because Texas people are so damn arrogant. There are not a whole lot of states in the United States where people are just like proud to be from that state. Like, I'm a Texan. Okay. What what does that like me? You just think because you were born on this like piece of dirt that like there's something special about you? I don't know of any other state where people are like, well, I'm an Arkansan, so like I know things and I'm this and I'm that. Well, you know, man, Texans are so patriotic and it comes across as arrogant. I don't know of any other state that's like that. I'm sitting here trying to think of if I've ever heard somebody like talk about how proud they are to be from a state. Like, you'll see usernames in forums and stuff like that. Like, you know, proclaiming that they're a Texan. Like, there's so many, like, anyway, I'm getting way off. I'm digressing. Basically, I can't see myself being a fan of any Texas team because I've almost gotten to the point where I despise Texans because of, they're Texans and they just think that they're better than everybody else. I just don't understand it. So Kansas City, I think, is the closest NFL team to me aside from a Texas team. Dallas, I think, is closer than Kansas City. I'm not 100%. Kansas City might actually be closer. Dallas, I think, is like 100, somewhere between 100 and 150 miles from Oklahoma City. And Kansas City's probably somewhere in that same ballpark. Maybe, 200 miles to Kansas City. I don't know. I'd have to do some geography and map and stuff to figure that out. But Kansas City is the closest non-Texas NFL team. So I'm a Kansas City fan, but I'm also a Niners fan. I'm from Reno, Nevada, and I'm kind of a Niners fan. I didn't like the Raiders because of their bad reputation of being, bullies and stuff like that, and I don't like, that kind of stuff. I like skill and finesse, and the Niners were that team, and I really liked the way the Niners carried themselves and everything. So I've been a Niners fan for a long time, secretly. You don't want to advertise that you're a fan of the winning team, but I've always liked the Niners. The Niners, I chose to become a fan of them when they got really bad because then, I'm not a bandwagon jumper. I'm like, the Niners are my team now. I can come out of the closet. Go Niners! But, I became a Niners fan a couple of years ago when they were really bad, and now they're like, it didn't take them very long to turn it around to get back to the Super Bowl because it wasn't too terribly long ago. I think it was back when Kaepernick was on the team. That was like 5 years ago or something. The Niners played against the Ravens in the Super Bowl, and I think the Ravens beat them, but like they were in the Super Bowl not too long ago, and then they got really bad, and now they're back in the Super Bowl again. So, and what I really like about the Niners is they're old school. They're running this like really, really old school zone read. I think that's what it is. I'm not 100%. But basically, it's a whole lot of running the same blocking schemes and the same protection schemes and stuff, but doing different things off of it. Like, you'll run like a run to the left, and you'll actually hand the ball off to the left, and the running back will take off to the left. Well, you'll run the exact same play, but there's another version of it where the back will, as soon as they get the ball, they'll cut back to the right, while everybody is still blocking to the left and doing everything left. You might have a guard or something pull off and do I forget what kind of block that's called. You may have some minor adjustments to it, but to the defense, it looks pretty much like that, run to the left play that you did last time. And then they'll also do another version of it where they'll fake the handoff, and then they'll throw it, to a tight end or something. So they'll run a whole bunch of variations that look like the exact same play to the defense, and it's just old school football. It's getting the defense to stop cheating. If the defense cheats and they start trying to predict the play, like, oh, this is that run off to the left, this is that run to the left, come on, get over here guys, and then they jump it like it's that run. Well, then whenever they fake it and throw that pass, the linebackers are going to be too far down to be able to cover that tight end that's cutting across behind them. And that tight end's going to be wide open, and the only person that's going to be there to tackle him is going to be like the safety or something, and or free safety. I don't know which one's a safety and which one's a free safety. I don't know. I'm not that much of a football expert, but it's just the whole their whole offense is about disguising what they're doing to the defense and getting the defense to stop cheating. The defense has to sit there and wait for the play to play out. And they have to play very disciplined defense. If they ever start playing aggressively on defense, they will get burned. Because if they start trying to guess what the offense is doing instead of reacting to what the offense is doing, then they'll get burned. And the 49ers offense, which I think is the zone read, is maybe it's the West Coast offense. I don't know what exactly it's called, but it's a small yardage offense. It's not really a big play offense unless the defense gets greedy and undisciplined, and it can turn into big plays. If the defense sets back and plays disciplined defense, then they'll just nickel and dime you to death all day long. But if the defense gets too aggressive and tries to jump the play, and they don't guess right, then they can get burned pretty bad. And that's what the Niners have been doing all season, is huge plays from overly aggressive defenses or undisciplined defenses. So I think the Niners are going to kick the crap out of the Chiefs. But I was so incredibly impressed with the Titans. Like, they came out of nowhere. I knew nothing about the Titans until they made the playoffs. And the Titans, man, they're a good team. They have an amazing defense. I think that they have, they were saying that the defensive coordinator for the Titans is a former Patriots defensive coordinator. And the Patriots have had an amazing defense for a long time. So maybe he's building up a solid defense over in Tennessee. Well, the Titans were a great team. And Kansas City, their offense was able to overcome that incredible defense. So, as much as I talk trash about the Niners going to kick the crap out of the Chiefs are also a really good team. And the Chiefs' offense is absolutely amazing. I haven't watched enough games this year to know, like, a lot of details about these two teams. But I think the Niners probably have the edge defensively, and that's probably what's going to determine this game. I don't think the Chiefs' offense is good enough to overcome the Niners' defense, and I think the Niners' offense is good enough to overcome the Chiefs' defense. So I think the Niners are going to win. Hopefully it's a close game and not some massive blowout, but hopefully the Niners win in the end. All right. Enough talk. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.